What's going on, Tech Feed? Welcome back to another episode of TechnoBuffalo's Driven. Today we're taking a look at the Honda Fit electric vehicle. This guy brings a ton of technology and totally electric drive to the platform. If you want to pick one of these guys up, you're going to be able to get it in a 3-year lease, setting it back $259, but that does include unlimited miles. Let's go ahead and put it through its paces, give it a drive, and see if that's worth your hard-earned money. So the drive in the Honda Fit EV is very similar to other EVs. That is to say, it is extremely fast. One of the nice things you get about electric vehicles is that instant torque. Think about when you turn on an electric drill, for example. As soon as you push that trigger, the drill is spinning at full speed. The same thing is true with electric vehicles. When you put your foot on, what would be considered the gas or the accelerator pedal, you get that full torque right away. And you've got 188 foot-pounds of torque sort of at your pedal's need whenever it is you guys want to put that on. It comes on really, really fast. Honda tweaked the suspension a bit. There's independent rear suspension in the back, and you really feel it. Handling is surprisingly nimble. Really, this car was all about surprises for me. Looking at it from the outside, you expect some sort of sluggish handling and sluggish performance, being more of a compact four-seater. What you really get is sports steering, quasi-sport suspension, and a really, really comfortable, fun ride. And that's really augmented by 3 different driving modes. You've got Sport, Normal, and Econ. And as you can guess what each one is going to do. Normal is sort of that middle number where the drive is nice. You're sort of optimizing the combination of power and efficiency. Sport kicks it up a notch, and you get all of that 188 foot-pounds of torque, 123 horsepower, which coincidentally is 5 more than the regular Fit non-electric vehicle, all coming from a 20 kilowatt hour battery pack. And you really got it all at a moment's notice in the sport mode. Drop it down to economy mode, you're going to get for better range, but less fun. You're going to average about 70 to 75 miles range on normal. Dropping it up to sport is going to take that down about 9 miles, and then dropping to economy is going to up that about 9 miles. So about a 9-mile delta from normal, whether you go to econ or sport. Being an electric vehicle, things are kind of unique. You don't have necessarily true gears. So you don't necessarily have to have a drivetrain that runs all the way down the bottom of the car. So the back seat, the floor, is almost totally flat. And also, we don't have first, second, third, fourth, and fifth type gears. You're really left with 2 driving modes, traditional D and B. D is just normal drive. You drive and it feels like any internal combustion car. You flip it into B and you get much more aggressive regenerative braking. Now, electric vehicles are pretty cool for regenerative braking. So what that does is it captures the heat loss during braking and kinetic energy and puts it back into the battery pack. So Honda's really optimized all ways of regenerative braking. So when you have it in B, when you take your foot off the accelerator pedal and you coast, the car is going to slow down. And when it's slowing down, it's activating the regenerative braking, putting power back into the pack. You can equate it to what it feels like in a manual transmission car when you downshift. You slowly start to slow down. If you don't want to drive in B and get that regenerative braking, you also have another way to regen. When you're trying to hit the brake pedal on a car, if you touch it down just a little bit, you'll start to get the energy back in as well. And you're using regen to stop the car, so you're not putting any pressure on the brake pads, so you're going to get way longer life at your brake pads. In the left gauge cluster, Honda shows you whether or not you are taking power out of the battery or putting it back with regen. It's very clean, simple. It's an old analog gauge, but it does the job pretty well. So being a full electric vehicle, you're going to need to charge your car. So if you have access to a 240 charger, it's going to take about 3 hours to get your car fully juiced up. If you've got just a regular 120, which is a normal wall outlet in your garage, it's going to range between 6 and 8 hours. I don't have a 240 in my house. I plugged it in, and I was very easily able to get it to a full charge overnight. I dropped it down to about 30% was the lowest. So Honda makes it really easy to access your car as well. There's a Honda Link EV app, which lets you control pretty much all aspects of the car when it's stable. One of my favorite features is be able to turn the climate control on before you got into the car. It's been pretty hot here in Southern California. So knowing, okay, I'm going to get in the car in about 10 minutes to leave to go home, I open up the app, I'm able to kick on the AC, and it's a much more comfortable ride home. You're also able to control whether or not you open or close the charging port on the car. You're able to control the charge time. Typically, electric companies charge lower rates later on in the day, so you can control when the electricity is being drawn to help save you some cash. It'll also tell you where the car is located in pretty close to real time. So if you need to see, where you parked, which is good for me, I get lost really easily. It was a really nice feature to have. The app is free and works for iOS and Android. So for a lot of times for cars that share platforms with internal combustion and electric, there really is a loss of storage space when you go to the electric side, because the battery packs have to live somewhere. Not so much though with the Fit EV. Honda put the battery packs in the back, which makes it feel much stronger as a rear-wheel drive car. But also you don't lose any storage space at all. The trunk is almost the identical size of the traditional Fit, save for just a few inches elevation. But they really did a nice job designing this platform to be optimized for both electric and internal combustion driving. One of the other interesting things that's been done with the Fit EV is the seats have actually been moved back versus the regular internal combustion version. So what you've got in the back as far as seating room is almost the same as what you'd get on a typical Honda Accord. So there's plenty of room for the tall folks in your life. Despite really being a small, compact car, there's easily room to seat 5. So 0 to 60 time on the Honda Fit EV, when you've got it in normal mode, it's going to be about 11 seconds. That number is deceiving because it's very quick from 0 to 30 because you get that instant torque. When you kick it up to sport mode, it takes about 1.5 seconds on, gets you to about 0 to 60 in around 8.5-ish seconds. Plenty of speed to get out of your own way or to pass somebody easily on the freeway. So one of the weirdest things about driving an EV, aside from not being propelled by explosions, is how eerily quiet the car is when it's on. In fact, there has to be a little indicator on the dash to tell you are ready to drive. Even when you floor it, there is very little noise, save for a little hum of the motor. And as you go ahead and punch it, it is really fun and you are sort of propelled by complete quiet. That quiet though does get a bit damper to get to high speeds. You can definitely hear wind noise, especially when you're going 65 plus on the freeway. There's no sort of simulated noise here like you saw on the Fisker Karma. It is all quiet. My wife calls these things the silent killers. So be careful if you're a pedestrian to make sure there isn't an EV following you. So the Honda Fit EV is a lot of technology in terms of connectivity. You can connect to the mobile application, which is beautifully done. It gives you control over a lot of things. When it comes to the head unit though, we have taken a few steps back. Let's take a look at the resolution of this guy. Look at what the street names are. That is extremely crunchy font and looks more like 2000 and not 2013. But it does do some really nice things. If you go into destination and we go on over to destination menu 2, you can see where your EV charging stations are. This is something that I wish all electric vehicles had. It gives you access to 120 or 240. It'll tell you where they're located, sort by distance to travel or vicinity, and they'll get you right there. And it's been pretty accurate for where charging stations are, but as more come online, not always gonna automatically populate here, unfortunately. Aside from that, there's not much in the way of connectivity options. You've got AM, FM, no satellite radio here. You've got a CD, it's a single CD slot. Then of course, your just standard radio options. Living up here though, in your second glove box, you do have access to USB connectivity. If you want to plug in or just charge your device, you can get connection though and get a USB thumbstick to play your music. Aside from that though, there's not much more. Bluetooth audio is of course here. You have steering wheel controls to control the volume, the radio station you're on. Cruise control options are here as well, and you can hang up or end calls. But other than that, it's a relatively Spartan interface. I did enjoy though the sort of single LCD down below, which showed me the air conditioning controls, whether it was 68 degrees or what temperature you wanted at or what the fan was doing. It really was very nice and clear to see. So what's the verdict on our electric blue friend here? I really enjoy the Honda Fit electric vehicle. So being an electric vehicle, it's not gonna be for everybody. You have to know your driving habits. Getting that 70 to 80 mile range might not be enough for you. If you're a city commuter or you've got a second internal combustion car in the family, this might be the ideal fit. All pun intended. The drive was really spirited. I thoroughly enjoyed the way the car handled, the way it performed. Everything about it exceeded my expectations. You're looking for a car that's not only connected, but is going to deliver pretty solid, fuel economy equivalent. The Honda Fit's going to be a really awesome choice. It was quick to charge, it was fun to drive, and I'm going to be sad to give over the keys later on today. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Techno Buffalo Driven. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe right here to get the latest tech news from all of your favorite tech YouTubers. Of course, subscribe. I am Jon Rettinger. I'll see you in the next video.